Today, we would like to talk about a very interesting program that originated in South America, specifically in Brazil, and it's called Exporta Fácil. And it's a program that has been expanding throughout South America thanks to the generous collaboration and assistance of Brazil and other important actors in the region, including the restricted union, the Postal Union for Spain, for the Americas, Spain and Portugal.
The project was born through the designated operator under the coordination of the Ministry of Communications of Brazil, and it was developed together with other Brazilian authorities involved in the export process. This is an important aspect. It's not enough to introduce this type of project with a designated operator alone. If other authorities involved in exports, such as customs, small and medium-sized enterprises, are not involved in the project. The export project is a governmental project, not only a postal sector project. In Brazil, the designated operator wanted to provide this Exporta Fácil service. Exporta Fácil is the brand of the designated operator. There are other operators in Brazil who can benefit from this project, from Exporta Fácil, and they use other brands as well. Since we introduced this project some 10 years ago, volumes have increased and continue to increase. We have exported through Exporta Fácil, through a simplified process, more than $1.8 billion. In 2012 alone, we have reached $170 million. And we export to numerous countries, and some 12 million businesses use Exporta Fácil in Brazil. For a small business, to export a container is very difficult. The postal logistics ensure that all parts of a process make it possible for small businesses to export. In various products, the logistics takes care of customs, transports the product to the country of destination, right through to the final buyer. It's a very successful project. Many countries asked Brazil to cooperate at a technical level with this project. Brazil wanted this project to be rolled out to other countries in South America. I don't know if you've heard of Unisol. The project became a priority for this organization through the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB, which provided financial support to develop Exporta Fácil, and Brazil provides technical coordination for its introduction in other countries. In South America, we've introduced Exporta Fácil in Peru, Uruguay, Ecuador, Colombia, and it's currently being developed in Argentina, Chile, and Bolivia. It's a project which can help local economies and can help the range of products being exported to be diversified. Exporta Fácil has the merit of involving new businesses in the export business and involving more products and diversifying the situation within the region. Last November, we've got a representative of a UPU here. He'll speak about this, but we signed a cooperation agreement between the Ministry of Communication of Brazil and the UPU to develop a methodology and to introduce a program in other countries worldwide. There is an interest for international institutions such as PUASP and the UPU, WTO, and to give visibility to a project. And the project is interesting for other regions of the world.
Now we'll move to an actual case where, well, a second case in addition to Brazil, obviously, but a concrete case of Ecuador. And I'll ask Mr. Cavanna to tell us about his experience in his country with Exporta Fácil.
Ecuador has not been using it for a year yet, but throughout this year, the Exporta Fácil service has been successful at the government level, as well as most forgotten sectors of our country. That's to say, craftsmen and small businessmen. This initiative, and we should thank our friends from Brazil for this wonderful idea which involves governments and craftsmen, and in some countries in the region, it's been really successful at all levels. In Ecuador, throughout 11 months, the service has been launched now. It's been there are some 5,000 exports which have been successfully conducted. We've generated some $1 million through Exporta Fácil. And clearly, it's a service which everyone's happy with, because it's growing on a daily basis. It's growing really in an exponential manner in the country. Craftsmen are joining Exporta Fácil, and there's no need for major advertising. The Ecuadorian Post has not had sufficient resources to invest money exclusively in this Exporta Fácil service. But despite this, the result has been extraordinary. In no province of Ecuador, no province has people not being interested in it. The craftsmen are involved in every province. The Ecuadorian government has looked on favorably on this initiative, and this service continues to develop and grow. And it's to the benefit of craftspeople, but it's also to the benefit of the people who receive the Ecuadorian products which are exported. This stimulates people to export. There is an economic advantage of exporting through this channel. And during the first 6 months, there was a cost of some 50% reduction in the export tariff. The Ecuadorian government has wanted to set out in black and white the figures, and they wanted to introduce this system to reduce the cost of exporting, so that the service could be sustainable over time. We've provided a response to the Ecuadorian government, and we are seeking to increase exports 3- or 4-fold compared to the current rates. The revenue for a country, in figures, we're thinking for every $1 million we invest in exporting, the country could receive $7 to $10 million in return. These are the figures. And I think this is an extraordinary service which can benefit all parties, not only craftspeople, but the government and the country and the post. We too have increased our volumes thanks to Exporta Fácil, and also the people who buy the Ecuadorian products in other countries. As Rosemary said, I think the introduction is positive. We are pleased with the Exporta Fácil service. Thank you.
Now I'll ask Alessandro from UPU headquarters in Switzerland to tell us a little bit about the UPU strategy for helping the member countries expand with these types of programs.
We at the UPU level, we have an obligation to act as a center of excellency to the world. To be in a position to do so, we have to look at all of the best initiatives and projects around the world initiated by postal organizations and see how at the UPU level we can add more value to national initiatives to make it worldwide solution throughout the postal network. The challenge for us, individual postal organizations, UPU International Bureau, it's more or less the same in the trade area because it is about delivering economic and social development, focusing on the need of countries that are striving to boost their exportation, creating employment, creating health for the economy. We also focus on companies that are striving to export, to have more access to foreign markets. We focus also on citizens because they want to access goods from anywhere in the world. Therefore, we have to take the individual initiatives at country level, study them and add value to them to make it a universal postal network solution to the world, to the people worldwide, to companies worldwide. I was fortunate enough to go to Brazil to work with the people there to understand what is Exporta Fácil. I went also to some other countries that have adopted Exporta Fácil to see what they are doing with Exporta Fácil, if also they are experiencing some difficulties that we may address all together to make it the best solution for the industry, for the economy. You may all know that there will never be any easy export solution if there is no easy import solution. If you send a good from one country and in the transit country the goods are stranded, or in the destination country there are bottlenecks, then that's a problem to the exporting company. And that, unfortunately, happens from time to time due to specific national regulations or difficulties.